I started off stripping down computers and building computers when I was about 13, 14, because I used to live with my dad, and he used to buy computers, old computers, and I used to strip them out, and that's how I learned about the RAM and your processor and different fittings and different pin sizes and stuff like that. Yeah. This is a computer I'm building. It's the Game Max case. It cost me £60. I'll show the motherboard. The motherboard is the Asus Crosshair V5 Hero Black Edition. And in here is the motherboard. There's your RAM slots. There's your processor slot. I've got all the iDrive cables connected now. All the cables in. It's got blue LED fans. Well, I didn't realise there was anything wrong until I was about 16, and I started hearing an echoey voice. I'd wake up at like 2 or 3 in the morning, and my head would be going at 1,000,000 miles an hour as everything was going really, really fast. And I was hearing an echoey voice saying, "Burn the house down, kill your family," and it gave me an adrenaline rush as if I actually wanted to do it. It made me feel like I wanted to do it. But then at time, my sister started laughing at me. She didn't believe me. She thought I was joking. I got sectioned at the Humber Centre, which is a forensic unit, and they didn't listen to anyone else's assessment. They did their own assessment, and by that point, because I'd been on the streets for about a year, I'd been doing a lot of drugs. I wasn't aware of delusions that I was having, and by this point, I didn't know that these thoughts wasn't real, because the drugs accelerated. I've had schizophrenia since I've been a kid. But I never recognised the voices to be voices. When I got to the Humber Centre, the staff were really supportive. They did help me a lot. I did threaten them in some ways, and they just carried on and kept treating me nice, which is good. It was quite safe. I'd never really been safe before. I'd never had that security. Psychology really helped me to understand my illness a bit more. And I think understanding it is the key to be able to unpick all of your delusions and see what schizophrenia is doing to you. And the one-to-one obs, I think, are quite supportive. It used to be people just came every hour and checked that you was breathing, checked you was alive. Yeah. But there is one-to-one obs where they do come and sit with you and they do watch you. Staff do come and sit in your room with you when you're on constant engagements, and they do watch telly with you and you have a chat and you have a laugh, which is quite good, because otherwise you can sit on your own and you'll be feeling down and you're left to your own devices with your own thoughts. So if you do need that support, it is quite helpful. I felt like I was on constant obs too long when I was on Ooze ward, and I didn't feel like I needed support. And one of the bad things about it is that you can't go on leave, and I think that if you're on constant obs, it will help if you can go on community leave, seeing different sites, simulating your mind rather than sat being bored with your own thoughts. So I think the NHS should allow you to go on grounds and stuff if you're on constant engagements. If you're allowed out on the grounds and you've got a bit more freedom, that you're less likely to self-harm because you're doing more and you're not just stuck in the same routine, doing the same thing, sat on your own or sat with someone watching you all the time. I don't feel the impulse to react like hurting people anymore, hurting myself anymore, wanting to die anymore, where I used to. And I mean, talking really helped because I never talked about any of my problems to anyone because I was brought up by my dad to be quite old-fashioned. Like you don't speak to anyone about your problems. You don't tell anyone anything. So until I got to Humber Centre, I'd never fully spoken to anyone. Until I started speaking to anyone about my problems, I couldn't stop. Do you know what I mean? It just came out, everything, and the anger and the guilt and everything. Clearview is flats with support for people with mental health. So you've got your own flat and the support during the day. If you do need help, like say, because I've got dodgy back, if it goes, I can ring the crossings and they will come and help me. White lips, pale face, living in the snowflakes, burnt lungs, sour taste. Lights gone, days end, struggling to pay rent, long nights, strange men. I made the decision to come here about 6 months ago. I've been on a waiting list. Now, back when I got to Humber Centre, I was really unwell. Like I said, I never spoke to anyone about my problems before, and it really helped me speaking to psychologists and speaking to people, and it helped me understanding my illness. I feel good being on my own. Now I can, I can mess about my computers where I wasn't able to before. I can play my guitar whenever I want, without having to sign it in and out all the time, which is a bit of a ball ache, I can go to shops whenever I want. I can go see my family whenever I want. I see my family all the time. I go see my mum all the time. I see my dad every Friday. The staff come see me from the Humber Centre 8 times, two or 3 times a week. Yeah, and they give their support, and they always come see me and make sure I'm all right. So, by the end of next year, I'm hoping to have saved a bit of money up. I do want to go on my first holiday and go abroad, because I've never been abroad. I've only just got my passport, so I can do that. Yeah, and I'm hoping. I'm hoping that I've still got my own flat. I've got my own independence. I can do my own shopping. I can cook my own food, and I've got support if I need it. I've got support of my family. I've got support of the workers downstairs within the building. I've got support from the hospital if I need it. And yeah, I mean, in a way, I'm glad I went to the Humber Centre, because they've helped me a lot. I wasn't so happy a few years ago, but when I got sectioned, but yeah, I think I needed it because it's got me to a better place than I was.